one was who asked me, two of them asked me in the clinic, and this was when people didn't usually talk about this. In '87, he asked me, "Doc, what do you think about marijuana for Huntington's disease?" I said, "You know, I hadn't thought of it, but why? Are you using?" He says, "Yes, it really helps my chorea, and you know what? I like it so much better than the drug you had prescribed because I don't feel so tired, and I feel pretty good with it." And I said, "Well, anything that sedates, any drug that sedates you will decrease chorea. Are you sure you're just not getting really sedated?" He says, "No, I'm not getting sleepy or anything. In fact, you should come up to our place, and I have another one of your patients who is an accountant who recently retired because of Huntington's disease, and he finds the same benefit." So I felt torn about whether I should go witness, but on a weekend I went to their place, and they both had moderate amount of involuntary movements that was anyone could see. They just couldn't sit still, constantly fidgeting, their hands are moving constantly. And they used a water pipe and they smoked about 4 to 5 inhalations. And in about 15 minutes, they were sitting on a sofa. The movements just gradually stopped and they had no involuntary movements. And I continued talking to them. They weren't sedated, they weren't spacey, they weren't in an altered state of consciousness, and that was when I realized, there's something in this. And I knew already that cannabis had been used in the 19th century for movement disorders, for Parkinson's, with great benefit. And in India, they were using cannabis for tetanus, the muscle spasms. It relaxes painful and saves lives. With tetanus, you can't breathe from the muscle spasms of your diaphragm. And they were saving lives. So O'Shaughnessy was a British physician in India, and he brought back cannabis. And it quickly became adapted as a treatment for paralysis agitans, the tremor and rigidity of Parkinson's disease. And it was still being used by Parkinson patients, especially younger Parkinson's patients who are familiar with cannabis. They'll use it from the black market. So this is another possible, when I say Huntington's disease and related disorders, it may be Parkinson's disease patients would benefit from this. Now, this is an older generation, but it's a generation of the old hippies. And so they feel very comfortable. In fact, whenever I talk and give talks to Parkinson patients, many of them are in their late 60s and 70s, and they ask me about it, and they're using it. And some of them have gotten their medical certifications, and they use it. But there's not enough good studies with contemporary cannabis preparations. A lot of it is still black market material, which I don't like because you don't know what the percentage of THC and CBD is, or whether it's toxic grown in pesticide-laden lands, or heavy metals. None of that is, when you get black market material, you really don't know. This is why I'm all for tightly regulated medical cannabis with third-party testing. And even if it ever comes to recreational cannabis, which is a whole nother story, it should be as tightly regulated as production of alcohol and sale of alcohol.
Do you find that?
I'm sorry, we gotta go jump to our patient. She needs to go.
Okay.
Just getting informed.
Okay.
But that was very good, Dr.